Jan here. Have you ever decided to flip your life around on a random day? You tell yourself, from now on, I'll wake up at 5 am, go to the gym for 2 hours, run a 5K, take a cold shower, start my own business, work on my YouTube channel, and spend some time with my family every single day, all while eating healthy meals and barely spending time on my phone at all. You sleep that night, feeling confident that tomorrow will be the day everything finally changes. Then you wake up 1 week later, and reality hits you hard. You realize that you never even began in the first place. You stuck up procrastinating all day long and stalling your dreams to that imaginary tomorrow that simply never comes. If this experience sounds painfully familiar, then you're not broken, you just don't know how to be consistent, especially when you don't feel like it. You think consistency is all about forcing yourself to do the same exact habits daily without fail, even when you physically can't. You think consistency is about pretending that you love doing something, when in reality it's the one thing that you dread most in your day. However, these are the misunderstandings that keep most people stuck where they are. Because the truth is that real consistency isn't about brute forcing yourself to do something that you hate. It's about finding the right methods that make it easy for you to stay consistent with anything and everything, no matter what. So in this video, I'm going to share 3 simple yet powerful secrets that helped me break the cycle and become the most consistent version of myself. Secret 1. Deloading. On social media, we are constantly flooded by the habits we should be doing. We commonly see influencers waking up at 5 am, doing deep work, drinking green juices, working out, running a 10K, meditating, journaling, brain dumping, not wasting time on their phones, and working on their businesses. But that's just too much. Firstly, don't get me wrong here. These habits are amazing and have real benefits. But you don't need to do all of them at once. You only need to focus on the ones that actually move the needle towards your personal goals. Not the ones that only look good on a highlight reel, and definitely not the ones that have instant proven benefits. For example, if you want to run an ultra marathon someday, you should focus on training daily, working out, eating healthy food, and drinking adequate amounts of water, not on running a whole marathon before work starts. Or, if you're trying to boost your productivity, you should prioritize incorporating daily brain dumps and deep work sessions into your day-to-day life, not on becoming an isolated monk in the middle of the mountaintops who wakes up when the sky is still pitch black. But don't just start 10 different habits on the same day because social media told you that they all have life-changing benefits. Secondly, please don't overwhelm yourself with too many habits. Like I already said, you don't need to start 15 different habits on the same exact day, because not only will this cause you to be stressed, it will also prevent you from cementing each habit into your routine properly. Personally, when I incorporate new habits into my existing routine, I only introduce a few habits at a time, usually 1 to 3. And once I've seen the results that prove that I solidified those habits and became consistent with them, only then will I build on from there. Just like the tortoise and the hare, small gradual progress, if consistent, always wins the race. So don't rush when solidifying new habits just because someone else seems to be progressing faster than you. Take your time, and you will eventually reach your own finish line. Secret 2. Making my goals visible. Literally. Every time I sit down at my desk to study, I do something so simple that it almost seems useless. I pull out a whiteboard and start writing a list containing every task that I need to do that day with specifics. For example, instead of writing do my English homework, I write read from page 34 to 47 and continue writing my summary document. Afterwards, I would put the whiteboard in a place where I can't ignore it, usually right in front of me. It sounds like a futile thing to do. However, it's actually one of the most powerful methods to stay consistent with basically anything and everything, and it's one that I already used myself to become both more consistent and productive as a busy high school student who has multiple hobbies. And the reason it works is because it utilizes the same principle that helps your brain remember people's faces, or that one motivational quote from last month, to keep your goals front and center. It aids you in remembering what you need to do, and motivates you to follow through. You don't necessarily need to use this only when studying. You can use this framework to stay consistent with lots of other things as well. And the best part? There's no magic or complexity behind it. Just simple, effective science that works every single time without fail. Secret 3. Forgiveness. Recently, I finished my finals, and if I have to be honest, I had the best time of my life staying up late and resting all day afterwards. But when I returned to my senses a few weeks later, I realized that my routine was in shambles from all my long study sessions, and that staying consistent with any of my old habits, specifically my bedtime reading habit, just wasn't happening. Now, was that a sign for me to abandon my calm bedtime reading habit that I spent weeks building just because I felt guilty for being inconsistent? Absolutely not. Instead, I forgave myself and committed to reading just a few extra minutes each night, until I eventually worked my way back up to reading for 30 minutes. And let me tell you, it actually took me a lot less to return back to my usual reading habit than it would have taken me to finish beating myself up mentally over it. So here's the thing that I really want to tell you. When you start a new habit, there's one inevitable but important truth that you need to accept. At some point in your life, your habits are going to fall apart for a short while, and you'll watch them crumble in front of your eyes. It might be because of a birthday, a hangout, a short holiday, or anything else outside your usual mundane routine, aka the most unique and precious memories of your life. And when that happens, I don't want you to feel guilty. I don't want you to feel like you're broken. I want you to forgive yourself and enjoy life. I want you to smile, laugh, have fun with friends, live out the best days of your life. If you had your fun, you can always get back on track afterwards. Because the only days you'll remember when you grow old aren't the ones where you woke up at 5 a.m. or the ones where you ran a 10K. They're the ones where you spent time with the people you loved and valued most. I hope this video helped you view consistency from a fresh perspective, from one that actually feels human. Stay ambitious, and see you in the next one. Jam out.